Today's episode is brought to you by the Be Real Podcasting Network. For more episodes like this, check out BREELnetwork.com.
I like Gruden, just because I think he's like annoying, but I like him.
He's just so all over the place.
No, we call that the fucking Blitz House.
Did you see that play? That was wild, man. That reminds me of the time I went to Myrtle Beach when I was in college, man. Man, this guy, his name was Salan. Salan, man, he's wild, just like that play.
The best is Tony Romo, because he's with Nance, right? Tony Romo.
Yeah.
And Jim Nance is like, so Tony, what's going to happen next? And Romo's like, well, he's going to drop back, take 3 steps to his left, look over his right shoulder, and throw the ball 17 yards to a receiver waiting with open arms. And then it's like, that's exactly what happens. And Jim Nance is like, good call, Tony.
He does it every time. I want to be like, well, Tony, how come you know everything, and when you played, you would throw all these interceptions? Like,
He had to have won a Super Bowl, right?
no. Never won a playoff game.
He won a playoff game.
I don't think they did. I don't think the Cowboys won a playoff game.
Oh my God.
I don't think they won.
Oh, no, because he held the kick when they played against Philadelphia.
He did
remember
flub
that?
the kick, yeah.
And then because that was his job.
Seahawks.
Was it Seahawks?
Seahawks.
But
Oh, and he flubbed the kick. And
that was like his rookie year.
Yeah, because that was his job because he was the backup.
Right, because he had been the backup and he became the starter.
Yeah, and then he was in there and he flubbed the kick.
Yeah.
That whole story made me think about Dan Marino and Ace Ventura.
Laces out, Dan.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a lot of people were thinking that because he probably felt like a total fucking idiot.
He did win a playoff game.
He definitely never went to the Super Bowl, but
For some reason, every time you kept saying, Tony Romo, I was imagining Troy Aikman in my head.
oh, he won several Super Bowls.
Yeah, I was going to say he won.
Yeah.
But did he beat us in 95?
Yeah.
That was Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman versus Neil O'Donnell was a little bit of a mismatch in the quarterbacking department.
You know what's funny is, so Neil O'Donnell went to University of Maryland, and I was in the gym one time, and they were showing like highlights of Steelers. That's when the Steelers went in 09, and they had all these highlights going on. And I was like, oh, Neil O'Donnell, what a bum. And there was like this monster dude. We called him the Grinch because on leg day, he stole
He was
all...
Neil O'Donnell.
He stole all Christmas.
No. On leg day at the gym, he would steal all the weights and put them on the sled to do like his leg press. So his nickname was the Grinch.
So it's like Father Rick in the gym.
Yes, like that.
Did you ever see Father Rick?
Yeah, but imagine this guy was like shaped like Father Rick, only he was like 2 feet taller than Father Rick. But he was Neil
not
O'Donnell's.
a short bald priest.
He was Neil O'Donnell's center. So he was like, Neil O'Donnell's fingertips were like touching his balls like on a weekly basis.
I get mad at you for saying Neil O'Donnell.
He got mad. He was like, you don't understand. Like, he's really good. No, blah, blah, blah. He's like, if you're a Steeler fan, you should really appreciate him. I was like, no, I appreciate him. I was like,
But he threw the ball to the Cowboys 3 times in the Super Bowl, and we lost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, what are you going to say? That's to the Grinch? I might say it's to Father Rick because I'm looking down. I'm not going to say, not on leg day. But it was like him and this other like monster who was like a total dick. And they would like throw the weights. Like this one guy actually like they were doing like the incline press with like 120-pound dumbbells. But they would like do it close to the rack. So like you'd have to like walk in front of them to like get you or
To get
like,
swole?
Like, yeah, to get swole. But like they would get done, and it's 120 pounds in each arm, so like they would like throw them on the ground. And one time they almost hit me. It's 120 pounds, like almost like taking off your ankle. And I looked at him and I was like, dude, what the hell's going on? He's like, well, you shouldn't be walking there. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, you look like a dick.
I bet you wish they had the
Or-
look alarm there.
I was just gonna say, Adam is a Planet Fitness guru.
I love it. I haven't been there in like months, but I'm trying to get back.
But is it like $10 a month? Isn't Planet Fitness like really
yeah,
cheap?
it's like super cheap. Yeah, 24/7. Oh yeah, everything.
But isn't there, when they call it the judgment-free zone, isn't it actually being a judgment zone when you're saying you don't allow meathead, juicehead gorillas there?
Well, it's
Isn't
like
that the opposite of
it's
being
like when people
judgment-free?
say I hate. Okay, that's what a double entendre. Is that what the term is?
Double negative.
Double negative,
Double
something
negative,
like that. Yeah, double
Double
negative.
entendre.
I hate. Well, apparently you don't, but
he hate me.
It's like the average Joes in dodgeball, except fuck you, Purple Cobras, you can't come. It's kind of like what they're doing, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I've never been there.
I don't want the Purple Cobras working out next to me.
That's
So-
fine, but
the
then
guy
don't
might
say you're
actually
like
be dead.
all inclusive when you're saying, judgment-free
You
zone.
know,
But we're gonna
they're
judge
all
those juicehead
inclusive.
gorillas.
They're all inclusive as long as everybody's inclusive. Everybody's got to be inclusive and not be an asshole. Like life.
There was another guy who looked like Dr. Cox from
Scrubs.
from Scrubs. Yeah, and he was funny, and it was funny because like whoever was in like the afternoon crew, it's like we would see each other like every day, but nobody like really talked a lot. Like sometimes you would chat like very briefly in the locker room, but every now and again, like everybody was like always talking shit on like the ones who like weren't there, and then the one guy was talking about, he's like, oh yeah, what was that guy's name, Tim or Tom? And he's like, you talking about sleeves? And he was like, yeah, sleeves. And it's like, what happened to sleeves? It was like, oh, he got a new membership across the street. Apparently, it's like $10 cheaper. I was like, why you guys call them sleeves? And he's like, dude, never wore sleeves. Like he cut the sleeves off of every single shirt that he owned, just so he could walk around. It's like, and they were like, yeah, and wasn't every day Arms Day? And they're like, yeah, that's sleeves. Yeah, that's him. He's like, what? He's like, whatever. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need to be here.
I have a friend who never wears sleeves ever, and like work, he's like wearing like not just the cutoff around your arm, like the deep cutoff down to like your waist, like every time I see him, he works in a greenhouse, so it's like 85 degrees every day where it's work. So I cut him some slack there, but sleeves, I like that. I'm gonna steal that.
Is he fit or is he like?
Yeah, no, really, he is. Like I probably wouldn't wear sleeves too if I was fit like that, but. Even in the winter, it'd be snowing outside. No sleeves. No sleeves for sleeves.
Shovel in the driveway.
Hey, the 100th episode.
Yay!
100th
Oh wait,
episode.
Episode 100.
Yes.
we did it. You did it.
How's it going, Adam?
It's going great. It only took us 99 episodes of talking about total nonsense and BS to make it to 100.
I mean,
It's time to retire.
they said some people said we'd never make it. Is
I
that
think
a
I
Shania
said that.
Twain song?
I might have said that at one point or another. So
They say we'd never make it.
tweeted that.
But here we are, 100 episodes later, and we're joined by two of For Your Distractions favorites, P-Lack, Mike D, back on the show again. Thanks for coming on our special episode, fellas.
It is an honor to be here for the 100th episode.
Yes.
Thanks for rescheduling so I could attend.
Right.
Mikey D.
We do what do. Hey, beer of the show.
Beer of the show.
This is a special beer of the show. I've talked about this on the show, but we've never had it before. It is the New Cleveland Pilsner from the Platform Beer Company. I've been to this brewery in Cleveland. It's pretty cool. It's an old train station converted to a brewery, and this is a really light beer, not too much. I'm into like the IPAs and the really earthy tones right now, so this is very, very light compared to what I'm used to, but it's crisp and it's fun, it's easy to go down. It is a Pilsner, P-Lack. It's half pale ale, half Pilsner. That blows my mind.
What it looks like to me
Okay.
is that they use the malts you would use for a Pilsner. So Pilsner malt, the hops you would use in a Pilsner. That's the like kind of the earthy, grassy.
But not very bitter.
But it's not very bitter, and I think they used an ale yeast. I think that's what the San Diego Super is. That's why it's a little cloudy.
It is, yes.
Right, so a Pilsner yeast will ferment at a low temperature. All the yeast will drop out. It'll give you that really bright, clear yellow color. And so that's my guess. So it is. I was a little suspicious when I poured it because it's a little cloudy, but it's good. It's exactly what Scott's saying. It's pretty crisp. A little bit of like fruitiness from the hops that kind of sets it off from a normal Pilsner, but it's good. I like it.
I don't like Pilsners too often. I just think they're too bland. I mean, you're like Miller Lights of the world and things of that nature.
That's a real Pilsner is different than a Miller Lite.
Okay.
So a real Pilsner is going to have more of like the German hops, and those hops will kind of pop out a little more. It'll be a little or they won't be the big flowery American hops. They'll be more earthy and grassy.
That's probably why I like it then. I like
But
that
but
more.
a good pilsner is like a good summertime beer. You're thinking of what a beer snob would call an American adjunct lager,
Oh,
which is like Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud
they're
Light.
the worst.
Yeah, the yellow fizzy beers.
They're the worst.
They're made with rice hulls. They're not super hoppy, and they're made intentionally to be bland. So they're technically pilsners, but if you go to a good craft brewery and order a pilsner like in July, you'll get a very different beer than a Miller Lite.
Great. I'm glad because I was really down on pilsners, and I tasted this not having too high hopes, and I loved it. And now you've just restored my faith in pilsners, so now I'm okay with Leica. So, all right. Who wants to go first? Who wants to rate the beer first?
You brought it. You go first.
I will, and I'm gonna give it a 5
Oh my God.
because I love it.
He's throwing them out like hotcakes, people.
Love it. This is one of my favorites. And I went.
Make
Fine.
it rain.
Making it rain.
$5 bills.
You know what probably makes me like it even more? I got a flight at this brewery, and they had a quadruple IPA. And I
That's
did
a
that.
lot.
It's too much.
It might be, yeah. That's
Like
a lot.
I had the little taster of it, and I felt like I was going to be standing on the bar if I drank a full one. So then I went to this, and I'm like, hey, that went down really easy. So I really like this beer. I really had a fun time at the brewery. It's right by Progressive Field. It's like blocks away from it, so it was a really cool place.
I think you could session this too because there's not that much alcohol in it, so you could have a few of these and hang out.
Right.
So you could kick it pretty good. The logo's pretty neat too.
It was a really cool place. They didn't have a kitchen. There was no food. So they brought a different food truck in every day. So it was like a different menu every time you went. I really enjoyed the place.
Yeah.
It's cool. All right, Pilak.
I would say
A beer expert.
I'd say this is a solid 4. I think Mike's right. This is a nice session beer. I usually like a little bit heavier stuff at this
I
time of year.
normally do, too.
Now that it's getting cold, but this is a good beer. I like this. I would drink it again for sure.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because it's crisp, easy, and refreshing. And I read that right off the can.
I was gonna say.
So thank you, New Cleveland. This was good. I actually really do like this one.
I like it a lot. I'm glad you guys like it. I thought you guys would be like, oh, this is too bland. And you're right. It doesn't really fit the season we're in, but it was the 100th episode.
It can be evaluated on its own merits.
Right.
Yeah, nice.
Adam, are you going to give it a numerical score? Or are you just going to
I don't do that anymore. Are you kidding me? I don't judge people on numbers or anything like that. I don't judge. I have one question for the Platform Beer Company. When you can the beer, where'd you hide the flavor?
Oh.
The flavor of this beer is as bland as the label on the can.
I said I like the label.
I know, and it's bland. It says a lot about you, apparently.
It's kind of contemporary. I like it.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
little
hipster word if there was any.
minimalist.
Those are two hipster words if there was any.
It was kind of a hipster place. I mean, it was like a nano brewery. That's what the sign
Yeah,
said,
I mean, if
but
there is no kitchen and a different food truck every night, it's definitely
it's
a hipster
totally
place.
hipster place, yeah.
It tastes like dirty water.
Oh, get out of
It
here.
tastes like I think it tastes like dirty water. It's very watered down.
You
I understand
dick.
it's a light beer, but this
Actually,
is really
when you,
light.
when you say dirty water, are you referring to whenever you used to play beer pong, with the actual beer, and
this
the
like
this
the
tastes
wash cup?
like
the wash cup?
you hit the nail on the head. This tastes like a beer pong kind of beer. That's what this tastes like.
Well, it's light bodied that you could play.
This
beer
is like
pong
the
with
beer
it.
you
I
drink.
mean, it's just
after,
so crisp.
This is like the beer you
Easy.
break out after everybody's
And
already
refreshing.
drunk and they're not going to tell any difference. This is that beer.
We did kegs of Natty Light at the Manor.
Drink a lot of that.
Or on weekends when there were a little left over from the party, we would go big with Natty Ice. Those were rough weekends.
Yeah, Natty Ice is the worst thing ever made.
It was.
That tastes like dirty water. This
It must
This
taste
is-
like Natty Ice then.
Drinking a blender full of Natty Ice.
on a Tuesday. Guess who's calling off tomorrow?
Oh my god.
Hey, 100th episode. This is great.
100
So wait, did you give it a number? You gonna
I
give
don't.
it a
I
zero?
don't give it. I don't
He
rate
stopped
it.
doing that.
I don't judge by numbers anymore.
So
That's
we've
so
been doing
mean.
this. We've been doing this for 100 episodes. I've come to an important conclusion. Adam doesn't like beer.
great. It's not good. I can understand why it's a light casual beer, but if I'm gonna have to give it some kind of like judgment, then I have to rate it harshly. I don't like it.
Well,
I
no,
would-
you did have that one beer that you did like. But I think that
Yingling.
you do like Yingling?
I love Yingling.
So you like Yingling? Yingling's not bad.
Vitamin
It's
Y.
also not good. I used to like Yingling, but
And you gave this a perfect 5, so I mean your judgment is not very sound at the moment.
I give it a 5 because I enjoy drinking it. Plus, I have a good memory from the place, so that scores extra points.
Yeah, drink a shit.
Experiences.
If you drink
Oh,
a shitty beer, but you're getting head while you're doing it, you're gonna give that a 5. Apparently, 'cause
I
you got a
give-
great memory from
I
that.
would actually agree with that statement.
I gave
yeah,
PBR. Did I give PBR a 5?
You did we ever have PBR
No, I
on
think
the
you gave it
show?
a 4 3/8, or somebody started giving out eighths. You're like,
That
oh,
was
that's
me. That was
that's a-
totally me.
Yeah, he was
Well,
being an asshole.
PBR is
You're
not
like,
a good
that's a
beer, but I
3
just have so
7/8.
I have so many good memories from the Blue Ribbon that it got a higher score than I normally get.
PBR. I mean, it's definitely a hipster beer, but like
It never used to be.
PBR is fine
Yeah.
compared to Bud Light and Miller Lite. There's like a little bit more to it.
PBR is my favorite cheap beer.
Yeah, PBR is fine. You get like 12 PBRs for $13. You did all right for yourself. that night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like Bud Light Lime. That's my favorite cheap
We
one.
know. Bud Light
So are
Lime.
we judging quantity over quality then? Is that what we're doing then?
Price
Context is everything.
for a bang for your buck, I'd
Yeah,
say.
you just said if you're getting head and drinking dirty water, it's a 5.
That's what he would say.
And yeah,
No, I don't like it. It's,
I guess that would be the experience. I mean, because like, remember that maple stuff? Was that Black Label? No, Black Label.
Oh, Black Label. We had that on the show before.
Yeah, we had the Black Label on the show. I think in this very room.
Black Label's good shit.
But
Reminds
I
me.
was saying, yeah, it was like, it reminds me of a time.
Yeah. We used to get that shit all the time.
Yeah, and that was like $12 for like 40 cans.
It was 30. It was a Canadian case. Canadian cases are 30 instead of the American 24. Why? They just give you the extra 6 because they're Canadians.
Metric.
There you go. That's it. Metric.
It's a metric case of beer.
I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So we've had some interesting conversations on this show the past 100 episodes.
we have, yes.
There's been talk of our trips to Canada.
Yeah, I didn't listen to that one. I think I should listen to it.
Yeah, or not.
What
you
no-
lived it.
What number was that?
It was like 2 episodes ago. It was like 99 or 98, something like that.
We've talked about it a couple times. Yeah, that was a fun bringing up our Canada trips.
Yeah, with Bob. Bob had a great time.
Bob. Yeah, he did.
Amazingly, Bob never makes an appearance when you're not on the podcast. So.
Bob lives in Colorado.
I miss Bob.
You said you want to tell a story before when you had more people on the show.
I did, but it's a story I've told on the podcast before. But it's the 100th episode, so it's nice to go back and review. a
Hold
couple
on, where's the
things.
Dreamweaver button? I bet it's this one.
That was
So,
not bad.
are you guys familiar with my Charles story? Did you hear the Charles story? Did you listen to that episode?
I listen to a lot of episodes.
Okay.
I'd like to think that I have the highest score of actual episodes listened to, right behind the co-producers of the show.
Well,
Because there was a
there's-
while there where I listened to like every single episode like religiously as it came out. At least like the first 30. So
Well, we're at 100 now. So
yeah, find some motherfucker who's gonna call in or write you an email or text or tweet and say they will listen to 30 episodes in a row that you're not married to or getting head from. And
Only if only. If only.
yeah, let me get something out of your little package there. So, which one's the Charles one? Sorry.
So
Thank you.
There's been a
Scott
lot.
got raped.
There's been a lot of stuff in the news.
Charles the black dude?
Yes.
Okay, I remember this.
Do you know the Charles story, Peel?
I don't think I've
okay,
heard the
I want
Charles
you to hear
story.
this. So there's been a lot of stuff in the news lately about, sexual, assaults going on. The hashtag Me Too. I could put hashtag Me Too also. This is a serious thing. So, you guys remember after high school, I went down to Tennessee. I lived in Tennessee for a year. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
family
Nashville.
down there. Knoxville.
Knoxville.
Lived in Knoxville, Tennessee. I got a job working at a bar.
Those are different cities, right?
They are. They are.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I was working at a restaurant/bar down there, and I was, green as can be, 19, maybe 20 years old, coming from Hermitage, Pennsylvania, a little podunk town where I grew up in.
Side, PA.
And you just don't know. You don't know the way of the world when you come from little towns like this. So there was this guy. His name was Charles.
Chuck.
Let me paint you a picture of what Charles resembled. He was probably 6'4", 250, solid muscle, maybe like the Grinch, just like monster guy, dreadlocks. He was a bartender where I worked, but he was a really cool guy. Like we hit it off great. He loved hockey. A black guy who loved hockey. Who'd have thought, right? So he had like tickets all the time. He went to see the Predators play. Fuck the Predators now, by the way. But back then, they were just the Predators. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, you got to come to games sometime. We'll go see the Preds play. We'll pick up chicks. He's like, it'll be great. So he's talking about picking up chicks and stuff. I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome or whatever. Fast forward a little bit. People from work were going to go to a bowling alley that had a bar. And everybody was going to drink and bowl. It was going to be a good fun. Well, I wasn't working, and I also wasn't old enough to drink. I was not 21 at the time. Gonna go with everybody, but I would be the only one sober, not drinking. So Charles said to me, he's like, hey, my apartment's over that way.
This is gonna be great.
Why don't you come over, because I don't work, you don't work. We'll pregame at my house, and then we'll go to the bowling alley, so you don't have to, drink there. You can already be hammered. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. So I go to his
I just
apartment.
took 2-hour tests, by the way, about sexual harassment because I go to school and I work at said school that I go to, so I had to do it twice, basically. And that is a big no-no. Pre-gaming before you go to the bar. No. Bad things will happen.
I was very uneducated at the time about this kind of stuff.
Young and naive, you would say you're innocent.
So I go to his place. He's making me all these crazy drinks. He's a freaking bartender. He had everything.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's just I'm drinking screwdrivers. I'm drinking all these mixed drinks to the point. Watch the horrible film Cabin Fever, Eli Roth. Did you ever see that flick?
I avoided it.
Yeah, because this movie is affiliated with the story, so now I can't ever watch it. It's a bad movie to begin with.
It's like every time the movie comes on, he's got non-flash. We're like, no, Charles, no.
So we're watching Cabin Fever, and I'm hammered.
All right.
Hammered. And I drove to his house. I parked my car. He lives in the absolute ghetto. The most horrible place in downtown Knoxville. So I think he might have slipped me something. Because I hadn't been this drunk in a long time. I was blackout.
And you had an erection.
I didn't at this time. So we get in the car. We're going to the bowling alley. He's driving, of course. There's no way. The world is spinning for me. And he reaches over.
Oh my God.
And he puts his hand on my knee. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, there's something I have to tell you. He goes, I'm bisexual, and I like you. How does that make you feel?
And your dick was rock hard.
No, there's no rock hard dick.
About time.
I've
been playing the long con.
I've heard the story a couple times. I just want to figure out when you got an erection.
We'll get to that. So, I was didn't know what to do. And I'm just like, well, I'm incredibly straight, so. And at this point, he's rubbing my knee and stuff, very sensually. I'm thinking to myself, this is horrible. So we finally get back. We get to the bowling alley. I go inside. There was a couple kids I worked with. It was actually from Pittsburgh I made friends with. They're sitting there already drinking. I go up to them you guys aren't going to believe what happened. I tell them the story. I'm like, yeah, we knew that about Charles. I'm pretty sure everybody did. We just thought you were cool with it or whatever. And I'm like, no, I wasn't cool with this at all. So the whole time I'm avoiding him like the plague. I'm over there and I keep feeling him burning holes in the back of my head as he's staring at me. The worst part is my car is at his house. So I have to go back with him to get my vehicle. And I never sobered up to the point where I almost got worse. I don't know what he gave me or what he put in that drink, but I was so gone. So we're on the way back, and I'm just like, this is it. This is how I get raped and killed. I just know it.
You don't have to die.
Well,
He's bi. He's not Dexter.
I mean,
Valid counterpoint.
Unless you kill yourself.
he was just a massive
This is how I
guy.
get raped and kill myself.
See, like I said, I didn't know the way of the world back then. So we're getting
You
back.
said you were in Tennessee. What state were you in?
Tennessee. Is
Tennessee.
the
That's
state,
what I
yes.
thought. Dateline, Tennessee.
We get back,
Dun.
and there was no way I could drive. He's like, if you're too drunk to drive, you can stay here. I'm like, nope, I'm fine. I'll be good. It was the drunkest I've ever driven in my life. I don't know how I'm
So
alive.
you slept in your car.
No, I didn't. I drove home from the ghetto.
Does this connect to the nipple ring story?
No, the nipple rings.
Is
came
that how you
later.
fell asleep in your car?
After things changed me.
There's a C engraved
So-
on my nipple ring. I don't know where it's from.
So
This is how I get my next nipple ring. Fuck it.
it just goes to show you, like, I had no idea. Like Adam said, you don't do that kind of thing. But I was just completely clueless because I didn't experience any of that growing up here.
So you get like weirded out, like when people who you think are straight, like make comments to you,
Not anymore.
like oh, you look good, and you'll be like, get away from me, Charles.
I mean, if this back then, I was 19 years old, I was like 5'10", $165 soaking wet. He was enormous. If he wanted to do anything, he would have. He didn't, but still, #me too.
How strong were his hands?
Pretty massive, to be honest with you. I mean, like I said, I was not of sound mind, but they were just like completely overtaking my knee.
Did he make you feel safe, comfortable, a welcome environment?
No, uncomfortable. Absolutely uncomfortable.
Did he trap you on a boat, pull down his pants, and start jerking it, and say, "See you later"? Like that lunatic Weinstein.
No,
Did you guys hear that story?
no, I didn't hear
I
that.
did not hear
one.
about the boat.
Well, that was. I mean, well, yeah, that was the whole story. But this one model was just
Because
like,
I have heard about the boat.
yeah, well, I mean, the model was like, yeah, I was sleeping and I woke up and he just came in, locked the door, just like pulled his pants around his knees and just like rifled one off, and just like, and then pulled up his pants and then he just like left. And like, I guess she like told people on the boat and they were like, yeah, dude, like he's like same thing, like how you told people about Charles.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, dude, everybody knows that. And she was like, no, like he was firing them out.
Was he in international waters?
I don't know, he might have been.
We're gonna have to get a pirate lawyer in here.
So yeah, that was my Charles story about how I was, I don't know, sexually.
Well, I mean,
assaulted.
that's like you were so intimidated by the situation that you chose to take your life into your own hands by driving home rather than like,
right.
yeah.
Fear a handy from Charles instead. So
Just, but now, no. Mike asked me the question: has that changed how I feel about people? Like even just joking around? No, and if anything, it's made me more understanding to the point where I don't care anymore. Like that happened, and I was completely caught off guard. Because to me, in my own little bubble here, that thing doesn't exist. Like you don't experience it does, but you don't think about it. I mean, besides the couple people we knew growing up, you didn't have that here. It's you forever.
Yeah, hit me forever.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
That was fucking Jackbird.
Jack must have been like 6 and he was still a dick.
Jack's been a dick. Jack's trying to convince everyone. Are we recording now? Jack's a fucking dick. But yeah, he's trying to convince everybody to go to Charleston, South Carolina for his bachelor party.
I know, he talked to me about it.
Scott got the invite. He won't go.
And when we tried to convince him, I was like, Jack, I've been to like a million of these. And the ones that are the most fun are the ones that are like local and they're like 4 hours. And there's a boat involved.
Yeah, like yours was like somewhere between 7 and 48 hours.
Well, it's funny though because for the longest time
I got lost in the casino for 3 days, and you were still at the craps table when I came.
Well, that was a blast. Well, the worst part about it was I drove up from Maryland with my one buddy Simon. Sure, Simon. Simon drove up, and then he and my brother like kind of hit it off, and then they both like blacked out together. But it was funny because he was wearing this like really stupid shirt with like these like big thick like horizontal bars, like horizontal stripes from like 1985. And Dominic goes up to him and he's like, hey, is your girlfriend let you wear that shirt outside of the house? And he looked at him and he's like, gave him this weird look. And he's like, I'm just kidding. I know you don't have a girlfriend. And he was like, fuck you. But then like at the end of the night, so like we're on this boat and it was
What kind of boat was it?
it was the Gateway Clipper.
Who else was on the boat?
Everybody. Well, we can tell the whole story.
Okay.
You tell like 90% of the story.
All right.
Well, we could tell like 70% of the story.
So it was like $150, and it was like all you can eat, all you can drink, and then we got strippers to come on the boat.
Oh, that's not part of the story of the weekend.
That makes it. That's 70% of the okay part.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bachelor party. We had strippers, and then they had this like mutant troll with them, who was like
At this point, the audience wants to know what is the other 30%. Like Jesus Christ.
Well, you can use your imagination, and then for each one of your individual
Hot dog or
viewers-
hamburger.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're out there, and we're just like doing a bunch of shots because, like I said, it's all inclusive. But it's the Gateway Clipper. It holds like 150 people, and I think we had like
International waters.
20. Yeah, we're on the Monongahela for like an hour.
We left the tri-state
You're
area.
like, you are west of the 10th Street Bridge. Take off everything you're wearing, please, right now. But no, we went through that, and that was a really good time. And I was trying to I lost my train of thought.
Take a
The
shot.
troll. The troll.
No. Okay, no. Simon.
Simon.
Yeah, so Simon and my brother were doing all these shots, and we actually got on the boat at the bottom of the incline because we were over at.
We rode the incline down.
We were at Station.
Yeah, Station Square. Yeah, because we were at Jaime's house. So Jaime had everybody over there for a barbecue, and then we walked down the street. You know, we caught the incline, then we got on the boat, and we had a great time. But they dropped us off at the casino. This is where it gets important. They drop us off at the casino, and Simon and Dominic are like holding on to, like the only way that they are not. It's like Forrest and Bubba Gump in the woods. Like they have to keep their heads together so they don't fucking face plant off the concrete. So I'm walking in, and I hear like on the thing, they're like, yeah, we got a young man in a black shirt and a older gentleman in a large horizontal striped shirt.
Stupid striped shirt.
And I heard him say that, and I was like, oh, the description sounds oddly familiar. And I turned around, and they're like holding on to each other. And I was like, oh, I know them. And she was like, are you responsible for them? And I turned around and looked, and they're like hugging each other, and I was like, nah. I was like, nah, let me in. So we went in, and we had a good time. We played craps, and Pilak's ID didn't
Oh yeah, because
work.
my wallet broke the ID,
Yeah,
and it was out of state.
and it wouldn't swipe.
It was out of state, so they had to swipe it, and it was like taped together over the magnetic strip, and it was cracked right on my birthday.
I had that problem with an ID.
Yeah.
But they let you in like the other door. didn't you?
Actually, there was one person who was like from the same state and looked at the ID and was like, "Look, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna peel this tape off and swipe it, and if it goes through, you walk through that door. Don't leave until you're ready to go." And he like peeled the tape and swiped it, and like the bottom half of the ID started to break, but it dinged, and I walked through the door. I mean, like I was well over 20. Do you have to be 21 to gamble or 18 in Pennsylvania?
21.
I don't even know.
Because it's a bar too.
So like
You have to be 21.
Like we were all obviously over 21 at that point.
Oh yeah, well over 21.
Well,
But-
except for the young man in the black
Except
shirt.
for the young man in the
He
black
was
shirt.
like literally, I think he was 22. He might have like just been barely 21.
So I think that the reason that they were hesitant to let me in is that I was behind your brother in line, and they were like, "These idiots are wasted."
Yeah, you were guilty. Yeah, you were kind of guilty.
Yeah,
by
like a little
association.
guilty by association.
But we so fast forward, and remember we played blackjack for $100, or not blackjack, roulette for like $100 a spin.
You did.
Well, my buddy
Royal we.
well, my buddy Brian was like, he's like, oh, let's do red for 100. And I was like, fuck it, whatever. And then it hit. And I was like, okay, this is great. He's like, you want to do it again? He's like, yeah, but let's do black this time. And I was like, you're a psycho. I was like, but I just want $100, let's do it. So then I moved it over to black. And then it hit. And he was just like, what do you think, one more time? And I was like,
I would
Wait,
like.
are you like letting it
I would
rise?
like to describe.
no. We just bet 100, and then we
There
won
it
100,
is.
and then
Like when you won
Nothing
100, you
more
didn't put
terrifying.
200 then on black, did you?
No, just 100.
Okay.
We bet 100 3 times.
There's nothing more terrifying than watching Mike D win money while gambling. Because
Well, we already
Because-
did what we normally do with the winnings. Before we got
his
there.
goal is never to leave the casino with more money than he has started with, regardless of the intake at the highest point of the winnings on
That's
the night.
very accurate. That's very accurate. I've
And
seen
so,
it. I've seen it happen.
as the chips pile up, you just go,
We're
oh
spending
man.
the night.
Like the one night's like, oh man, Mike is cleaning up at the poker table, and I haven't even had dinner. This is gonna be a rough night. And
Oh yeah, that's when we were at the strip club in West Virginia.
I decorated the Cathedral of Learning that night.
No,
Like 4 o'clock in the morning.
we were driving down Fifth Avenue, and Pat's like, I don't feel good, and then we like that rando Ethan.
Ethan
Yeah.
Sandwich.
We can use his real name because he was weird enough. That probably isn't even his real name. I think Ethan drove and he like pulled over.
If you're weird,
Pat gets out of
you
the
can use your name.
Well, Pat gets out of the car. And he's just like walking in circles and we're like, Pat, are you okay? Like, what's going on? All of a sudden he's just like, "Ah!" just like, I remember you're like standing there like with this stance. And it was just like all over the place. And then Dale's like banging on the side of the door. He's like, hey, get in the car. We're going to go to jail.
He was correct.
Yeah, so we,
Wiser words have never been said by Dale.
but that was
Mistakes. Poor decisions were made that evening.
So Simon and Dominic weren't allowed into the casino, so they had to like go back to the house. And I think we gave everybody like the address to Jaime's house because everybody was just gonna sleep there. They brought like a bunch of like air mattresses or whatever. And then so we get back to the house. And,
My mom picked me up from that house the next morning. That was fun.
this is okay. That'll make this part of this will make the punchline even better. So
This is
My
like
brother's
a Las
like-
Vegas party movie where it's like you guys get to the casino and then the other two jokers can't get in, so they go off on their own adventure, and then you cut to them every now and then doing something stupid or whatever.
So, like, Dominic is like sleeping in like on a bar stool, just because he wouldn't like take a nap. I think he was worried like if he fell asleep first, that people were gonna like fuck with him or whatever. But we get back and like everybody's pretty much passed out or whatever. Simon and I go home the next day, and I call up Jaime and I just said thanks for having us over, and they're like, he's like, yeah, I don't know how to tell you this, but your buddy Simon like took a human shit underneath our deck at like 3 a.m. And I'm like, what? What? And he's like, yeah. Like your buddies.
I'd like to ask.
Under that deck.
I'd like to ask for some clarification. When you say he took a human shit, do you mean like he was a human that took a shit, or he took a shit that was the size of a human?
No, he goes. Yeah, I asked Jaime for a few more clarifications, and he's like, "No, your buddy took a giant shit under our deck and then left it there, and then drove you back to Maryland." So for the longest time, like, because that was 2012, and Simon and I have been buddies for a while. We come up here, we like tell stories or whatever, and Jaime's like, "Oh yeah, how's your buddy, like the one who shits under decks?" Like, I was like, "Oh, you mean Simon?" He was like, "Yeah, Simon."
Deck
Like,
shitter, yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, how's he doing or whatever." So fast forward a few years, and I'm retelling the story just like I'm telling it to you guys now. And Dominic is in the room, and Dominic's like, "Oh, dude, that was me." Like 36 months later. And Dominic was like, yeah, I did that. It was like, yeah, I fucking took a shit. He was like, I had to go. We couldn't get in the house because, like you said, they went off on their own adventure. It's like, so they weren't allowed in the casino, and then they were too stupid to get inside of the house because it was all locked. Because he got back there a
I
little
just
bit
imagine
earlier.
them going on some big Harold and Kumar adventure outside the casino and making it back at the end. You're like, I gotta take a shit. Hold on.
Yeah, Dominic was like, oh yeah, dude, that was me.
We were pissing under that deck, but that's different than
yeah.
taking a shit.
It's very
And
different.
that's probably like, oh man, they're locked in the house.
Like, it's
for
good
how long?
fertilizer. Don't
How
worry
long
about
were
it.
they there? Like Pelak said, you were at the casino for like 3 days, so they were just like hanging out on the patio for that long.
Well, it was like people kept trickling back.
I feel like I almost missed my cousin's wedding because we were at the casino for so long.
Yeah, the whole casino thing was just like a total blur because I remember
Because it was Labor Day weekend, so my cousin got married on Sunday, so I was able to go to the bachelor party. And I don't know. I feel like I might have been there till 2013. Like, just time in the casino combined with the alcohol consumed, like, had a dilating factor. At one point, I felt like it was 5:30 in the morning and college football was still on. I was very confused.
Well, it was weird because like
It probably wasn't 5:30 in the morning.
so like when you go to a strip club, it's like they kind of break it up. Like okay, there's ladies, they arrive, do their thing, and then they go. Then like another one comes. But like when you order like entertainment out, like come out, it's like they're there for like 90 minutes and they want all of your money. Like all of the money that you have. Like not on your person, but like they want your credit cards, they want like everything.
yes,
But they showed up for like the first like 20 or 30 minutes and you know like everybody's having fun and everybody brought like because everybody knew what was going on. Everybody brought like some singles and like they were giving them out. And then it was like everybody kind of like ran out of cash on hand and they still had like 45 minutes left. And then it just got to the point where like, hey, like we want to go out on the deck, like just hang out, just like relax. And I remember sitting there because they had like a giant buffet of like all this bar food, and I was sitting there like in line eating some like chicken tenders. And I wasn't like hammer blasted, but I was kind of drunk. But I just remember seeing like the
Give me a
strippers.
big and tasty.
I just remember seeing the strippers like running around like the upstairs deck, and then like a couple of randos. It probably wasn't Jaime, but we'll just say Jaime was like chasing them. Like people were just like chasing.
playing tag.
Like yeah, like they were like running around, and they're topless, running around the Gateway Clipper, and I was just like crushing like ranch covered
What the
chicken
fuck is the
tenders,
Playboy Mansion or some shit?
and I was like, man, this is pretty fun. I was like, this is fucking weird. Shit is getting weird on the Clipper.
What I remember is, at that point in time, another attendee of the party was dating a relative of mine.
Jaime
It was
was.
Jaime.
Jaime's brother.
No, Jaime.
Jaime was like, so, you're going to tell your cousin about this, are you? Not the cousin that was getting married, different cousin.
Different cousin, right?
Classic Jaime.
I was like, no, you're good. You're good.
That was around the same time. Holy cow!
Yeah.
Oh man.
So what I tried to tell Jack was that if he's gonna do a bachelor party, you do like just
I
do it
forgot
like
that's how this story
like make it like intense, like you know for a short amount of time. But he was kind of excited because he wants
It's better
apparently
to burn out than to fade away.
that's Def Leppard.
That's Neil Young.
No. The beginning of Rock of Ages. That's what he says.
Oh, it's a Neil Young song.
Well, that I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying it is in the other one. But yeah, so Jack wants to ride in one of those like little jet packs that have the hoses that go into the
Yeah.
water.
You should inform him that the goal is not to die.
I've seen many a video where the thing just spins upside down and shoots you underwater, like
Really?
Yeah.
yeah, and they gotta get the jetpack off just to get back up. I've seen many a video like that.
Did you ever see George Clooney's Tomorrowland, where he's like the kid on the jetpack? It does that, like in real life.
I didn't see that
That's
one.
okay. Nobody has.
I saw the
That's
Rocketeer.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, the
Somebody was
Rocketeer.
saying that they're making a lot of advances, like with the jetpack, like with the using the new lithium-ion batteries and everything. So like it could be like a real thing. Like I'm commuting to Pittsburgh. Like as soon as I move here, I have to commute to Pittsburgh.
Right.
There's
Could
this,
you imagine? I'd be like, hey, man, whoa, check me out, look at me go. go.
There's a guy working on an Iron Man suit, like
a legit one.
like a legit like Iron Man suit.
Isn't it Elon Musk? Doesn't he think he's actually Tony Stark?
I mean, he's like Tony Stark in real life, but he's not making like Iron Man suits, as far as we know.
As far
as we know.
Yeah.
But like there's this dude, it runs for like 10 seconds and then it doesn't work after that. But the dude's got like millions upon millions of dollars to throw at it. So
I think for any of this bullshit to actually work, I think the big ticket item, and scientists correct me if I'm wrong, is if they can figure out how to basically turn solar power into like real energy, like in a very, 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 very efficient manner. Like if they could do that, then like everything, anytime the sun is out, it would be like Monsters Inc. when the kids laughing.
I mean, like,
it's like everything would just be like
in a very general sense at this point in time. You talk about like an electric car being more efficient than, or better for the environment than a regular combustion engine. But then you plug your electric car into the wall, and the electricity comes from a coal power plant, right? So like, it's not. But so like the big picture goal is to find a more efficient source of fuel, whether it's a hydrogen fuel cell or more efficient solar energy, because like it doesn't really help that much to plug a Tesla into the wall and use the power plant from your fossil fuel power plant.
well, unless the power plant is nuclear.
Unless the power plant is nuclear, but everybody's terrified of nuclear power plants. Like, that nuclear power would be the answer to a lot of the questions, but people are generally scared of nuclear power plants.
It burns clean. It just, if it doesn't melt down, then we're golden.
Right.
Yeah,
Tesla just put in a bunch of those charging stations at the Sheets and Hermitage.
I thought that
I've
was
never seen one Tesla
I
in
can't.
the Shenango Valley.
There is
They
one Tesla in New Wilmington.
There is?
One. It might be like in the outskirts.
Probably a professor.
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure who it is, but there is one. But like, yeah, I can't imagine there's more than one.
I've never seen a car
in
charge.
like
They get
the, in
tax
Mercer,
credits.
in like the Mercer County, Lawrence County area. I can't
well,
believe
they
there's more than a
get
couple.
like a tax credit or a subsidy. That's the only reason they have them.
There's a Tesla dealership in Wexford.
Right.
So, realistically, people could have them here.
Yeah, and like, I have a buddy that lives in Wexford that always talks about buying one, and won't do it. But like, I think people in Wexford do drive them. Yeah.
They are incredibly
I
expensive.
was at San Jose.
Yeah, they're like $100,000, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or
And, I mean,
$190,000?
they have to be local car, right? Like, you couldn't drive a Tesla to Myrtle Beach because you would have to plot your route the whole way down to find where to charge it, right? Like, you'd have to, like, you can't just
And
drive.
that's their goal. Realistically, they want to...
Oh, right. But like, at this point, the infrastructure isn't there
Right.
to refuel your completely electric car in the same way that you would refuel your gas
I went
car.
to San Jose this summer. They were everywhere. You went to Walmart, Walgreens, whatever place you stopped in, the parking lots had
The
them.
tech capital of the world.
That's why. That's why.
We're like
Yeah.
30 or 40 years away from just seeing self-driving cars on the regular, on the road.
I saw a self-driving Uber in Pittsburgh when I was there.
Yeah,
How's that coming along? Weren't they like giving out free rides if you got in? Like
There
with the
was-
self-driving Uber.
there was a lot. So the problem is that Uber like got in good with the city and then raided Carnegie Mellon's computer science and engineering department, and then everybody got mad at them. So they were like much less willing to work with them. Like, Uber said that they were going to come in and work with Carnegie Mellon, and
They were doing the brain rape.
they just hired all of Carnegie Mellon's professors off of their faculty to work directly for Uber. So instead of like putting money into CMU and
They
helping like further, because at this point Pittsburgh is like medical research and university driven and technology driven. But then when you come in and start stealing from the universities, and the city was less willing to be friendly.
Well, what about Amazon? Do you think Amazon's going to come to Pittsburgh?
I don't.
They're in the running, but
I-
I think
yeah.
it's a long shot. I do.
But having come from Baltimore, I heard that Baltimore was in the running. I feel like every city, every city that thinks that their shit doesn't stink.
They started
Which is
out with so
everybody.
many, and Youngstown was on the list.
Yeah.
But they keep like shortening and shortening. Like Youngstown was eliminated.
Oh fuck yeah!
I feel
I
like-
would love for them to put it in Youngstown.
I feel
That'd
like
be great. Your house would like double your property value.
yeah,
would,
but
like,
it got
double.
eliminated. So.
I feel like
Wow.
Pittsburgh is a pretty good candidate because Pittsburgh is like slowly becoming recognized as
City of Champions.
well. Pittsburgh has always been city champion. Like let's that. But like Pittsburgh is becoming more and more associated with like you know,
Championships.
with that type of technology and that type of
and
research.
the culture of winning.
and like to this
Wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
to this point, it's probably cheaper to rent buildings in Pittsburgh than it is like for now until it becomes.
Well, that's the biggest thing. I mean, the low cost of living. I mean, dude, so we went to lunch. So I was new guy on the campus this week when I transferred jobs. And they're like, yeah, you want to go to lunch? We'll get some tacos. And I was like, okay, cool. So we walk down the stairs, go across the street to like a bar. It's like a bar like Mad Max. And we walk in there, and they're like, oh, it's build your own tacos. I think it was called Condados.
I love those places.
Yeah, it was fucking
Yeah.
sweet. And I was like, how's this
BG's
work?
Mongolian barbecue. Oh,
I was like, how's this work? I've never been to one. They're like, yeah, just fill it out. We usually get a nacho, and then we get a taco. It's pretty good. And I was like, I had no idea how much this shit was going to cost. Pretty much because I didn't read the menu. I just ticked the boxes and gave it to them. And then they gave me the bill, and it was $6.50. $6.50. It was like cheaper than Chipotle. I had gone to Jimmy John's the day before, and that shit was $11.
wow.
And I was like, this is unreal.
Pittsburgh is cheaper than Durham for sure. Like Durham has a similar, grad student / university medical research type culture, and Pittsburgh is cheaper than Durham. So, in terms of living,
I think Pittsburgh would be a good place. But
that's why is it like right? This is the point that it would be a good thing for Pittsburgh,
definitely. But
and
like,
Pittsburgh is a good place for it.
the other cities I've seen that were in the like favorites to get it were like Chicago, Boston, and Atlanta.
I heard
like-
Austin. I heard Austin is like really high.
I'm sure
up on the
Austin's high on the list. Yeah.
Austin,
definitely.
because the thing is because they need like 50,000. They want like 50,000 employees.
Yeah, I think that's an
50,000. There's only 350,000 people.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh's a weird because of the way the suburbs are set up. Like, there's more Pittsburgh in the city limits.
There's you can get a million
Yeah.
people if you count
In the city limits, Pittsburgh is the same size as Cranberry, but like the city limits in Pittsburgh are relatively small because it's geographically limited by the rivers.
But even greater Pittsburgh area, I think only boasts around 400,000 people.
No, the greater Pittsburgh area is 2 million.
million.
It's 2 million.
It's 2 million.
So
yeah.
what
Is
is
it two?
what is
Because
Because
Great-
greater?
1 million.
it's like 2 million. It goes out
All
to
right, we
Cranberry.
need a reference. Is the internet working?
Look,
No, but what do you call greater? You mean Cranberry? to
yeah,
the
that's
South
that's
Hills?
considered part of the greater Pittsburgh.
That's
area, is
considered
Cranberry,
greater Pittsburgh area.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
I
the
mean-
stuff that I read that was like quote unquote greater Pittsburgh area didn't go all the way up to Cranberry. So
I mean, it's like
Are we counting Shenango Township?
I mean, I see. It'll be weird. I don't know how this is going to work with
Newcastle? Is Newcastle in the...
I think that Newcastle, when Newcastle was in its heyday, Newcastle was like the end of the suburbs of
because it was
Pittsburgh.
like New Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but
which
like
is south of Newcastle.
I think now, like Zelienople is not really a suburb of Pittsburgh, right? Get out to Zele.
But Zealy is really close to Cranberry and Wexford if you go on
I know,
Route
but-
8.
In terms of like my point of reference is calculating market size for sports teams, right? So like from the perspective of Major League Baseball, there are 2 million people in the Pittsburgh area.
That watch baseball or that exist.
That like the market size for Pittsburgh is 2 million.
So what's the market size for Cleveland?
a
Because
little bit
Cleveland,
smaller.
well, because Cleveland as a city, I think actually has more people than
Probably,
Pittsburgh.
but like
The
Pittsburgh,
city itself.
right? But Pittsburgh, the city,
Are you talking about greater Cleveland area versus greater?
the greater
Pittsburgh?
Cleveland area, I think, has slightly fewer people, even if the city of Cleveland has more people than the city of Pittsburgh.
Okay, that I will agree with.
Yeah.
Okay. I see
Right.
what
So,
you're
so
saying.
like, but like, when you think about if Amazon wants to hire 50,000 people, if that's the number, like you have to include Cranberry because that's where those like where else are those people going to live? Right. There's space
So many
for
people that work
West
in Pittsburgh.
Middlesex.
there's space for those people in Cranberry and Wexford and Zelienople, where like the city of Pittsburgh is geographic. Like there are rivers there. There's not that much space in the city of Pittsburgh.
No, right.
Right, so that's why like it's misleading. And the city that tries to troll Pittsburgh on population all the time is Toledo. They constantly redraw their boundaries so that the population of Toledo is slightly higher than the population of Pittsburgh. But like Toledo and Pittsburgh are not the same size city.
Right. Well, yeah, they're not even fucking close.
Right.
Who the hell gives a shit about a mudhead? We
Uh,
got the Buccos.
My grandfather was he grew up outside of Toledo, but that was like when he passed away, one of the first lines in his obituary was he was a Toledo Mudhens fan.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend.
No.
I
I just wanted to make you feel a little
They went a little dark. Yeah.
I just
All right. Well, all right.
I watched how the states got their shapes on the History Channel. Did you guys ever watch
States
that?
got their shape.
It was so great.
The Ohio River.
There was a
That's what I- that's all I know.
shots fired war between Ohio and Michigan
over Toledo.
over
Yes.
Toledo. It was like the coolest thing ever.
It was the only war fought between two states entirely independent of the Civil War.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like incredible. And the government had to step in. They're like, okay, we're gonna settle this.
It's just Toledo.
Okay. They were like, Ohio.
Cut the baby in half. No, you can have it. All right, Michigan. You get all the cars.
No, what they did, you're close. You're close. They went in and said, Ohio, you can have Toledo, but Michigan, I know this is weird, but we're gonna give you this part up here that nobody cares about. That's why your state is so fucking crazy. So they got the Upper Peninsula,
The
which is
Uper.
probably better than Toledo. So I think they made out.
I'll tell you what, man. We were out in Duluth for, I don't know, is Meredith's sister? That's my sister-in-law, right?
Yes.
That is my
Yeah.
sister-in-law.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law's wedding. They got married in an aquarium, like in Duluth, and they had this really cool, like little mock system set up with like all the locks.
I'm not looking up what state Duluth is in right now.
Minnesota, right?
Minnesota.
Okay.
No, this pissed me off. So we stayed in the hotel across the street from the fucking Duluth Trading Company. You see all those commercials with
Oh,
the
yeah.
badgers
Underwear.
and they eat the pants and all that fun stuff. And we were right across the street. I was like, Meredith, I want to go there. And then we never got a chance to go there, and I was so fucking pissed. It was a total shit show. I don't want to go into too many details, but just basically, Meredith was like, my sister's getting married, I'm going to black out. And Winifred is here, so you're going to go back to the hotel and watch Toy Story 4 times in a row. And I was like, okay, this sounds like a great fucking trip.
Toy Story 1?
One.
Would
One, and it was totally
Winifred
pixelated.
have noticed if you put Toy Story 2 on.
We didn't have it. See, that's the thing. So what we did, quick sidebar, we took all of our movies that you have hanging up on your wall, and we burned them illegally. You can edit this. We burned them onto. We burned them all onto a hard drive, and then we hooked up to Plex. I don't know if you ever heard about Plex, but Plex is basically like a little cloud system, so you can access all your movies.
Yeah, it's a stolen movie server. Yeah. Go on.
So we only had Toy Story 1. But here's the thing. We were hooked up to the hotel internet, so I had to like change the resolution to like total garbage. So it was like watching the Pong version of like Woody and Buzz Lightyear.
It was
like almost get run
like
over.
watching Toy Story played through a Nintendo.
Listen,
Yes, exactly.
That's 1997 Pixar. It in itself is kind of sketchy to the day. So
5.
95.
Yeah, because they just celebrated a 20-year anniversary.
Well, it's 1995 Pixar. That computer graphics was par at best. Par
They
to
don't
Midland.
look as impressive now as we thought it did then.
Every kid had the same face. Sid and Andy were the same kid. If you go back and watch, pay attention. They used one face for all the kids at the birthday party. They're all like eerily the same.
Mike, can you validate that as somebody who's watched Toy Story?
I'm trying to think. Well, they all had different T-shirts on. That
The
was the thing.
different colored T-shirts.
I'm not going to argue with Scott about the contents of a Disney-related movie.
So anyway, we were in Duluth, and it was at this the Duluth Aquarium, and it was really cool. It was actually a very, very fun time. But they had this like little mock-up of all the locks, and they explained to you, to the Iron Range in Minnesota, basically almost all the bullets that were fired in like World War II like came out of Minnesota. So what it's like, okay, how do you get from Minnesota
All
to
the American bullets, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, sorry. for clarification. So it's like, so how do you get all these bullets like from like a landlocked like from Minnesota all the way out to like the East Coast? And they did this with like this unique system of like locks that they have set up like through all the Great Lakes, and it was actually like really, really cool. It was pretty interesting.
No, my uncle is a captain, and he's never done this, but it's on his bucket list. There is a way that you could be in the Atlantic Ocean and go through like the St. Lawrence Seaway and get into the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Go through all the Great Lakes, come down the Mississippi River, and get to the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. That thing that you just described, they had it mocked up, and Winifred was going fucking berserk. And she was like soaking wet, so because it was like a pool, and they like you like close the locks, you open the locks, and you like get your little boat, and like all the kids were going nuts.
Winifred
Granted,
the Navigator.
it was fucking 15 degrees out, and Winifred is like soaked, okay, because she's like playing with water, and we go outside. By the time she walked from the outside door into the limo, this part was cool. We like got into this limo, like her shit was like frozen, like the movie, like her actual like dress was like kind of like extraordinarily brittle, like totally frozen. And she was really cold and she was crying, and I was like, I fucking hate this place. God damn it.
It was 15 degrees, but you didn't mention that it was July because it's Minnesota, and that's how it is there.
No, it was sorry. This all took place December 15th, 2015.
I was making a joke that Minnesota's
It's
always fucking cold.
Always
yes.
cold. Oh, always cold, yeah. But anyway, yeah, so the states get their shapes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that was kind of neat.
What about, you went to Alaska too, didn't you, recently?
Yeah, we did go to Alaska. So after my sister-in-law got married, they moved up to Alaska, and they live in Fairbanks. And Meredith and I went out there in June. We went out there in June. And we were actually just telling some people about this story yesterday, how we went fishing. So it's kind of cool, like, okay, hey, we're in Alaska, we're going to go, like, fishing, okay? And they're like, yeah, salmon are all, like, swimming upstream. It's going to be fucking awesome. Like, let's go do this. And we're thinking, like, total wilderness. Like, okay, we're going to go fishing, like, out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And we show up to this campsite, I'm not even kidding you. It was like a NASCAR tailgate. It was fucking beer cans everywhere. There's garbage everywhere. There's like a million white dudes
Like a Kenny
with
Chesney
beard.
concert.
It was, yeah. Kenny Chesney concert is a very, very accurate description. And you're like nuts to butts with your rod and reel. Like the four of us all like centered around this table. And it's like, imagine this, and there's one fucking fish in the water, and everybody wants it.
Did you get it?
I did not. I did not get the fish, but it was just kind of cool because like way out in the distance was like these like giant mountain range, okay, and then there was like this like perfectly blue sky, and then they had like all these like Bob Ross. It was like just perfect little cirrus clouds, and there was like these bald eagles swimming around, and like just like look up above like hat level, and you're like, oh my god, this is like the most beautiful place on earth. And then you look down, and it's like a fucking Kenny Chesney tailgate, like in the north side. And you're like, oh my god, like whose fucking beer can is that? Why is there garbage? Then there's like, it's weird because it's all glacial, so the water is like 32.5 degrees. It's like just above freezing.
Right.
And there's these douchebags like riding their boats like up the middle. So like the way the channel works is it's like probably 6 inches deep. So say it's 80 feet wide. It's like 6 inches deep, except for like the middle, maybe 20 feet, and it's like 85 feet deep.
I feel like I learned this playing the Yukon Trail as a child.
Yeah, well, it's pretty
Don't
crazy.
move your boat to the side of the river. You will die.
Well, I was like, well, why don't we walk to the other side? That guy caught a fish. And they're like, you can't walk to the other side. I was like, why not? 6 inches deep. I see the rocks. They're like, yeah. And the water is like ripping, and a lot of people come fish at this spot because it necks down, and there's like a bridge that kind of goes over top. And Meredith's sister's husband, who I don't think is my brother-in-law.
He is.
Yes.
My brother-in-law. He was like, dude, like, you got to stay up, like, all night to catch fish. He's like, because they don't move around until, like, 3 a.m. Okay, so we were there, like, right around the
No,
solstice.
it's always daylight, too, right?
Well, that's what I'm
This time of the
getting to.
year?
Yeah, so it is, like, 10:30, 11, and it feels like happy hour. It feels like 5 p.m. It's, like, not even a...
I've always wanted to go and do like the 24 hours with no. Seems like it would be an
I just wanted
experience.
to drink the whole time. Like,
No, well, that's the thing. It's, like, really, really weird, because it never really... It gets, like, kind of like dusk, but you can still see.
Yeah.
Like everything, everywhere. And then it's kind of neat because the way that they know that fish are coming is they have all these like little salmon stations and they know when they're swimming. And then people like do the math. So they're like, oh, well, like they hit this station this time, so they should be here like around on this time. This place was, like I said, it was just fucking packed. And the way it works is there's like so many fish there that you don't like catch the fish. You like pull them out of the water. They call it like flossing. So you use like a fly rod with like a regular jig hook on there, and the whole trick is like you throw it out there and you're supposed to like pull the fish out because the fish, they just swim with their mouth open.
So they just like swim right into
They're
it.
supposed to like swim right into it, or if you don't swim, like the one guy who actually caught one just like janked it off the side. But the thing is somebody did the math wrong and there were no fucking fish in the river, and I was like, this is fun, you know, it was cool, we really enjoyed it, we had a great time. But my
Look at that
brother-in-law,
one.
he stayed up all night. I'm not even kidding you. And he caught, you're only allowed to catch 3 fish. He caught 3 fish at like 3:45 a.m. And Meredith and I went to bed at like 3 a.m. because our lines like got busted and we didn't want to like redo our lines or what have you.
it's called fishing, not catching, Mike.
I wanted to fucking catch something. Actually, I didn't want to catch something. I wanted to no, and it was cool because when we got there were like people catching stuff, and that was actually really cool because in the middle of like the river area, they have like this giant wooden board where like everybody does their filleting and everything, and they like throw up all the pieces, and they're like all these bald eagles that like kind of like, so you like hang out like feeding bald eagles, which I was like, oh my god, this place is fucking great, like this is gonna be awesome, and then we didn't catch shit.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on, guys. Episode 100.
Episode 100.
100.
Yes. So, let me get real for a second here. Adam,
Sir?
to get emotional.
Don't touch his leg.
So I just want to say to the people out there listening, it's amazing how many people actually listen. Like when we started doing this 100 episodes ago, we just did it for like a hobby, you know, just for something fun to do. We always said from episode 1 till now, we said, hey, if nobody listened, we would still do it because we enjoy it. So I just want to say thank you to the people out there who actually listen to us. The people from all over Canada, California, Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, people who just randomly listen to us. I mean, we checked the stats the one time. There was like people from like Indonesia listening. Like, what the fuck?
There's a couple that were
The
overseas. that checked us
Philippines.
out,
Like,
so-
what?
I'm pretty sure Pat and I can never apply for a real government job.
Nope.
Ever.
Yeah. So,
Don't really want a government job.
so I just want to say thank you guys for listening and tuning in to us. We're going to keep doing it. If you guys keep listening, that would be great. Adam,
Sir.
tell the people how they can get a hold of For Your Distraction, would you?
We have an email, fordistraction@gmail.com. Email us. Social medias, we are at Twitter and Facebook. Search For Distraction at Podcast FYD. SoundCloud, search For Distraction. We're also on iTunes as well. Rate us, like us, share us with your friends, write a comment. The only way we grow is if you guys help us grow. We are also a member of the Be Real Podcasting Network. Head over to BREELnetwork.com or search Movie Guys Podcast on Podbean. We're on there as well. That is kind of like our, I guess you would call it our hub for the Be Real Network, is on there. Yeah. It's a beer of the show, Scott. Let's
Beer
thank
of the
the beer.
show. A big thank you to the Platform Beer Company in Cleveland, Ohio. This is the new Cleveland Pilsner. Good stuff. I'm a big fan of this beer, so thank
3
you
out of
guys.
4 podcasters loved it.
That's right. 3 out of 4 podcasters approved this
1
beer.
out of 4 would only drink it while getting head.
I mean,
I think you want to recalibrate your scale.
4 out of 4 will drink it.